Hey friends, Amir here with your local home finder team. Today we're going to talk about tips and tricks on how to get your home more efficient in the winter and also avoid some pitfalls that may not be so great in terms of safety. We have a fantastic resource here. This is Ryan Pope, and he runs a fantastic company called Motion Electric Heating and Cooling. Ryan, tell us about yourself and the business.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Ryan. I'm an electrician. I'm a fire alarm technician and a gas fitter. I own Motion Electrical Heating and Cooling and Fire Protection, and we run it in the beautiful town of Center Wellington. We do service Kitchener, Cambridge, Waterloo, and also Orangeville. Heating, you can put one of these in your bedroom, one individually to whatever heat setting.
Oh, my bill's going to be of a flip of a coin.
That's right, yeah. And obviously if you have solar panels, your solar panels are going towards feeding this.
All right, so furnaces, Ryan. How old is old for a furnace?
Most furnaces over 15 years will start showing signs of deterioration problems.
Okay.
We recommend changing a furnace if it's under the efficiency level that you have in Canada now.
Okay.
Which is 98%.
So I got these folks that are saying, hey, if it ain't broke, don't mess with it. Is that a thing, or should you be replacing it in terms of not just efficiency, but for safety?
That's right. So older furnaces, you definitely want to have them looked at by an HVAC technician every year. You wouldn't want to just necessarily replace something for no reason. So here at Motion, we don't really like to upsell people to the degree of them spending money for no reason.
Right.
If there's efficiency problems with an older furnace, then yes, putting newer furnaces will save you power or energy in the long run for your home.
So then, in terms of getting them serviced, let's say I have a furnace that's 3-4 years old. When would I look at getting that serviced or looked at or cleaned? How would that work?
Yep. So you call us. We'll set you up on an annual basis. So we come in and check your furnace, clean it, check all your filters, and make sure everything's running to the proper pressures. And that's pretty well it. Then we give you an inspection report, and you have a clean bill of health for the next year.
Awesome. So we'll look at an actual furnace afterwards, and in terms of filters and things like that. But you got a furnace right here. Is that something that you would put in one of the newer homes?
Yeah, that's right. This is a new two-stage Bryant furnace. What this is it's a higher efficiency. These things are very good. They have a 10-year warranty.
Okay.
They have a great warranty with the manufacturer here. And yeah, this is something I definitely put in a house to retrofit from an old furnace to new.
So then how big of a house would something like this cover, and what's the cost in something like that?
Yeah, typically this one here is a 60,000 BTU, which meaning it will do up to a 2,000 square foot house.
Wow, okay, yeah. Cool. That's good. And in terms of efficiency, let's compare this one to, say, a 20-year-old furnace. What's it going to save for somebody that's just saying, hey, maybe I just don't need one? Is it going to save them a ton of money? Is it going to be worth it? What do you think? Obviously, every case is different, but let's say this is a decent furnace, still working, but it's just 20 years old. It's real old.
Yeah, over time, it will save you money, but the biggest part of it is saving you service calls.
Right.
So if you have an older furnace, it will start deteriorating. Different parts will fail. Your blower, certain components inside will start failing. And then you're calling service call for service call for service call. And it's like putting money into an old car where you're at the point where you just want to replace it.
We've all been there.
So that's why we have great warranties with these units. It's peace of mind. And then paying the either $150 or $125 a month to have your annual service done, then that's more peace of mind as well, and it improves the longevity of the actual units.
All right, so living in the country, we all know, and especially with a lot of the weather changes these days, we have a lot of ice, and then the power goes out, and then what do you do when the power goes out? You get a generator. So Ryan, tell us about this generator.
Yeah, so we're a Generac distributor. This one here is a natural gas unit. It's typically put in a residential home or even a small business. So it depends on what you want. Farms are a big target market because a lot of farmers want to make sure that their cattle are being taken care of and all the feeding systems.
Right.
So they want a generator all the time that's going to be dependent and working. So we use a really good brand. Like I said, Generac's our go-to brand, and it's very popular out there.
Very cool.
It's very easy to get.
Is it like one size fits all, or is there a bunch of different kinds? One's for residential. Would somebody get this in a subdivision?
Yes, someone would get this in a subdivision. We don't try and oversell people on them. So whatever size you have for your house, so say it's a smaller house, 10,000 kilowatt is usually good. A 22,000 kilowatt is more for a larger home.
I see. So then let's say I want to put one into my house, and really the only way they run is through natural gas. Say if I don't have natural gas, would they run on propane?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of places have propane, so they will run off propane as well. And obviously, there's diesel tank options.
Right.
If you have nothing at all, they have units with a belly tank in them, and you can actually fill them with diesel, and they will work the same way.
Right. So say I'm sitting around watching TV, all of a sudden, tree falls down the power line and the power's out. I'm in a subdivision. Will I have just full power right away?
That's right. There's about 10 to 15 second transfer period. So the lights will go out for a second, and then they will turn on and you'll be running at full capacity.
My wife's been bugging me for one of these, so I think we might talk about this afterwards.
with the actual generators nowadays too, they actually have apps, as you can see here. A mobile link, so you can check if it's running or not, different pressures and things like that to do with the generator.
Very cool.
And yeah, they are very, very handy. They're very up to date.
Okay. Now let's say the neighborhood, right? Is it really noisy?
No, they're very quiet. They're not too loud. So we usually try and keep them away from other people's houses.
Cool.
So when we're doing a quote, we'll try and keep them away from other neighbors' windows. So we will try and set them back to the back of their own house.
Right.
Just not to get noise complaints from other people.
Right. So would you say it's similar to, say, an air conditioner or louder?
It's a little bit louder than an air conditioner, between an air conditioner and a lawnmower type thing. So
all right. Okay. Thanks for that reference. Okay, that makes sense. Awesome. Yeah. So now let's say we don't have a ton of emergencies. Do I just leave this alone? Do I do anything to it? Does it need to, be ran every once in a while?
Yeah, they do have a function on the app, obviously, too. You can change that, but you can actually have them run every single day at a certain time. So it's an exercise cycle, which they will turn on, run, and then it's almost like a self-check. So that makes them operate every day, which keeps everything warm and working. And then also, obviously, once a year, we'll come in and do your filter changes and your air filter changes and making sure it's properly maintained.
Very cool.
Cheaper fee, too. It's usually around $250 to have that all done.
Very nice. Okay, great.
So one more other thing I want to talk about, obviously, at the home you have a GFI receptacle. That's a ground fault interrupter. And what that does is actually senses water or anything else in ground which can cause electric shock to people. So what I do every year is come over and I test that. I'll hit the test button on it and you hit the reset button. And you want to make sure that all your areas around your sinks and your bathrooms and your outdoor swimming pools all have GFIs in place.
Anything near a water supply should have it, or maybe even if you have any electrical stuff in the basement that's near water, you should have that GFI.
Yeah, anything near water, anything outside, which would be susceptible to corrosion, would have to have a GFI. A lot of our main service calls come from GFIs on the residential market is because people will have a GFI that controls other things. So say one GFI out front of your house is tripped and you check your plugs in your backyard and you're saying, oh, my plugs in my backyard aren't working because that front GFI will be tripped and it controls your backyard receptacles. So it's a lot of easy things that we come there and do, and we'll just hit the reset button on the front receptacle and all your back things will work. And that's a service call that a customer can avoid.
Right.
If they knew this information.
Ryan, thank you so much for going through all the stuff that you went through, all the tips and tricks to make our home more efficient. And obviously you guys are going to have some questions. Make sure you comment on any of the videos that we have here and comment below. We'll share that with Ryan. And if you want to reach out to him, he's always available as well. Not always, maybe not middle of the night, but you can call him during business hours. Where can we reach it?
Yeah, you can call me at our office. It's 519-787-6953. And yeah, thank you very much for the experience. This was really good, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ryan. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for joining us for this video. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.